Destruction in the wake of Hurricane Michael, temperatures drop in Oklahoma, and veteran homelessness becomes extinct in Cleveland County. This is OU Nightly.
Oh God, Panama City, there's nothing there, nothing. I never seen nothing like it.
Thanks for joining us on OU Nightly. I'm Sydney Forsee.
And I'm Madeline Roberts. The aftermath of Hurricane Michael has left death and destruction as residents in the Florida Panhandle are cleaning up after the storm. At least 5 people were killed after the almost Category 5 hurricane hit. CNN's Kara Kafa reports on the widespread devastation from Hurricane Michael.
This hurricane was an absolute monster.
In the Florida Panhandle, sun after the storm and sorting through the aftermath of the strongest storm to hit the continental U.S. in more than 25 years.
Nothing. I never seen nothing like it.
Hurricane Michael slammed into Mexico Beach, Florida Wednesday afternoon with 155-mile-per-hour winds. This morning offered a first look at the storm's power and its destruction.
This was never in our imagination. This here, it was such a tremendous thing that I never imagined this was what's going to happen to our home here.
Along with Mexico Beach, Apalachicola also seeing some of the storm's worst. FEMA Administrator Brock Long said rescues are a priority today.
Right now, the focus is truly on life safety and making sure that we are helping people who may be trapped.
Right now, all eyes are on the East Coast.
And Jenna Warner joins us with more updates on where the storm system is now.
That's right. So taking a look at it right now, it's moving through North Carolina on into Virginia. There's a severe thunderstorm watch out with it right now. Some storms are making their way through the area, along with some flooding being brought back to North Carolina as they just dealt with Hurricane Florence earlier in September. But later on in the show, we'll be talking about tropical impacts right here in Oklahoma, as well as some chilly weather ahead and a drought update here in Norman. So back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jenna. President Trump and Attorney General Jeff Sessions' disagreement over criminal justice reform continues. Mariah Conduff joins us in the News Center with more. Mariah?
Madeline, President Trump says he is supporting prison reform despite disagreements with Attorney General Jeff Sessions and says he will overrule him if needed. The Attorney General is not in support of prison reform, and on the other hand, the White House has embraced the First Step Act, which would lessen sentence time, allow prisoners to serve within 500 miles from their home, and even allow some to finish their time in halfway houses. And speaking of prison reform, Kanye West met with President Trump today to discuss that as well as other issues he feels are most important to the African American community.
He might not have expected to have a crazy like Kanye West run up and support, but best believe we are going to make America great.
West and President Trump also discussed the African American unemployment rate and ways to decrease violence in Chicago. And keep a lookout for West as we may see the rapper run in the 2024 presidential election. And more women and people of color are running for office in this election cycle than any other election in U.S. history. According to the Reflective Democracy campaign, Americans are 51% women and 40% people of color, but 2/3 of elected officials are white men. That's all going to change this election. The growing number of women running for office is due to the increase in women's marches and the Me Too movement. And Sydney, a rare disease referred to as modern polio, has affected children in Washington, Illinois, and Colorado.
Thank you, Mariah. Election Day is just a month away, and if you want to vote, the deadline to register in Oklahoma is tomorrow. The election board reports there are over 2,500 new registrants in Cleveland County alone since the 2016 presidential election. Board members want potential voters to know that voting registration in Oklahoma is not available online for this election period, but it may be in the future.
You cannot register online, but if you already have a registration, you can update your voter information, either your political affiliation or your address.
Online registration is not available at this time. You'll need to register at a tag agency or an election board, or you may register by 5 p.m. on Friday.
Will Rogers World Airport is getting a multi-million-dollar makeover, and we now know what the $89 million terminal expansion will look like. OU Nightly's Amina Schweitzer shows us just what it took for these plans to take flight.
Subject to ticketing. Thank you for your cooperation.
The expansion comes just in time. A record-breaking number of passengers traveled through Will Rogers just last year. Millions of passengers combined with more carriers flying to more destinations has put strain on the current terminal and security checkpoints. The airport announced this expansion back in 2015.
We kind of reached a trigger point when we only had one gate available, that we needed to start planning and executing expansion projects.
In addition to airlines requiring more gates, TSA operations are evolving to require more space, and the terminal has limited capacity for non-passenger visitors waiting for loved ones. 4 new gates, an open meeting area, and more security space are included in the expansion plan, but there's room for even more.
We planned these 4 gates, but we can continue to expand that concourse to add another 7 gates as demand merits.
The airport is also trying to reinstitute a pre-9/11 feature, an observation area for non-passengers.
This was something that we lost in our last expansion. We used to have an observation area, and it was pre-9/11, so we didn't think it would be a problem, but then of course not everybody can go through the security checkpoint.
Construction is expected to start in the first few months of 2019. Amina Schweitzer, OU Nightly.
The airport received construction bids yesterday and will be selling revenue bonds to fund the project soon.
And still ahead on OU Nightly, why there is still controversy surrounding medical marijuana.
Plus, what a college here at OU is doing to help Oklahomans in need.
Welcome back. Tori King has the latest on marijuana benefits and the flu in this week's Health Beat. Tori?
State Question 788 passed in June, and since then, controversy over every part has been presented. Payne joins us now with why this has taken so long.
A lie can only live for so long. I mean, marijuana is obviously not harmful. In fact, it's incredibly beneficial.
When State Question 788 passed, Oklahomans seemed excited about getting started in the marijuana business legally, but actually getting the grow process started has taken more time than expected.
As for how to get the initial crop started, I kind of think that that's occurring with a nod and a wink and a don't ask, don't tell kind of approach.
While the process of acquiring and growing the crop is still being discussed, 38 doctors like this one in Oklahoma are ready and able to write prescriptions for recommendation cards. Although dispensaries aren't selling marijuana just yet, doctors are able to get the eager patients one step closer.
Yeah, I mean, we're still kind of early as far as when actual product's going to be available in dispensaries, but basically right here, right now, in this early stage, I mean, basically they can apply online, get a form, come and see us or another provider, and we do a complete medical exam and see if they would benefit from medical marijuana.
In Oklahoma, a stigma remains on how beneficial marijuana can be. Ultimate Healthcare in OKC knows almost any ailment can be treated with medical marijuana.
It's every age, so there's not a lot of people that can't benefit, as crazy as that sounds. And it's just awesome because the side effects aren't there.
With seemingly no side effects and real help every day, these 38 doctors want to help their patients feel better and enjoy a higher quality of life. Payne, OU Nightly.
For a list of all doctors willing to participate, visit the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority's website. And an extremely rare illness has been reported in dozens of states, and it might be something you want to keep an eye out for. This strange disease resembles polio and has sent numerous people to the hospital. The Center for Disease Control has documented 38 cases throughout 16 states in September alone. This disease is called acute flaccid myelitis, and symptoms can be scary. AFM attacks the nervous system through viruses, toxins, and genetic disorders, and can cause difficulty swallowing, slurred speech, and limb weakness. While there's no cure, those diagnosed can receive medical treatment and vaccinations are advised. And the numbers are in. Here's last year's flu report from the CDC. The 2017 to 2018 influenza season was a highly severe season across all age groups. The flu season began in early November, peaked in January, and ended in March, making it one of the longest flu seasons in the last 8 years. There were more than 80,000 reported deaths due to the flu and complications, the most in 4 decades, and 155 million doses of flu vaccines were distributed. The last year's flu shot was 40% effective, pretty high comparatively to other years in the past. And I just found out that Goddard will be offering free flu shots on October 16th and 17th from 8 a.m. to 4:30. Y'all should definitely swing by.
I definitely will.
Me too.
Thank you,
Of course,
Tori.
Tori. Earlier this year, Norman and Cleveland County successfully ended veterans' homelessness. Nightly's Abby Green has more on how helping with this cause hit home with several students at Price Business School.
Since 2015, the city of Norman has been working towards their goal to end veterans' homelessness. Last February, not only did they meet their goal, but the city also became the first community in Oklahoma to achieve it. But it doesn't stop there. Several Oklahomans across the state are still facing homelessness each day. After seeing how their Norman community made an impact on the cause, a group of students at Price called the Cozy Okies were inspired to help as well.
We had a volunteer service fair, and so we went around to all the cubicles that were wanting our help, and we chose Curbside Chronicle because some of the things they were telling us was like, we're so close to ending veterans homelessness because there's about 100 in the state, and they almost got it down to like 85. So, and then they also had a huge budget cut, so we were helping them with their money situation.
Using their knowledge of business, the group created a blanket product to sell in effort to raise money for Curbside. The Curbside Chronicle employs people experiencing homelessness to sell magazines so they can hopefully move into housing. Being a former Price student herself, director of the Chronicle, Rania Fergotson, is excited to partner with her alma mater to continue to help the cause.
We love seeing students step up and say, I want to make an impact, and I'm going to use my expertise and my major to do it in this way.
Last year, the organization was able to help 41 people in their homelessness through magazine sales. Curbside hopes to increase those numbers this year through their business partnership with Price. Abby Green, OU Nightly.
If you're interested in purchasing a blanket or learning more about the Cozy Okies, go to their website, cozyokie.oucreates.com.
And still ahead on OU Nightly, we'll have more updates on Hurricane Michael.
And Jenna has a look at today's weather.
That's right. What's in the forecast here in Oklahoma? I'll have all that and more coming up next. Stay tuned. Welcome back to OU Nightly, guys. Not a cloud in the sky in Norman right now. Currently it's 64 degrees, a bit chilly, and we do have that north wind hitting us at 3 miles per hour, so not even really blustery out right now. Regionally, it's also feeling fall-like as we look at Dodge City, Kansas. It's 44 degrees in Dodge City. If we'll take a look at the current temperatures across the state right now. Looking at our day planner as you head out the door tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., 50 degrees, making our way up to 61 by the 5 o'clock hour. We do have some rain around for your morning commute tomorrow, but it'll clear up as we head through the day. We also have a cold front hitting us tomorrow, so that's going to be in charge of our wind shifting from the south to the north. So we'll be getting northerly winds by 5 o'clock tomorrow, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Highs across the state are below normal for this time of year. 75s are normal for this temperature right now. 61 degrees in Norman tomorrow for our high, 62 in OKC, and 58 up in Enid. So we're going to talk about that drought monitor update. Good news here in Oklahoma. We are in the clear, and as we hit these next 2 days, we'll improve even more. Tropical impacts here in Oklahoma. So this is Tropical Storm Sergio heading up through the Baja Peninsula in California, moving into the U.S. as a low pressure system. And it'll actually be hitting us here in Oklahoma come Saturday, bringing us a decent amount of rain. How much rain will we see? Well, this is looking at our morning commute tomorrow. We'll be getting about 1/10 of an inch out for our overall morning commute. And then as Sergio heads in, we'll be seeing about 2 inches here in Norman, almost 1 inch in OKC as Sergio heads through the area. So these next 2 days in review, we have a wind shift tomorrow because of the cold front coming in. We have rain chances tomorrow morning, and we have the remnants of Sergio coming in on Saturday. Rounding out the forecast as we head through the next 7 days, we'll be hitting a high of 44 on Monday, so it'll be pretty chilly, but luckily we do warm up to 67 by the end of next week. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely not excited for this colder weather as we head into next week.
You know, at least it's not as hot anymore, Jenna, and we're starting to get into the fall weather a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, fall is definitely here. Thanks, Jenna.
Thank you.
And Cal Day joins us now as the NBA season is on the horizon.
Hey, that's right. Things are heating up in Minnesota. Plus, Trae Young with another jaw-dropping shot. Stick around. Sports is on the other side.
We're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we're talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We're talking about practice.
Remember how thrilled Allen Iverson was to practice with the 76ers way back when? Well, Jimmy Butler spent Wednesday echoing similar sentiments. He returned to the Timberwolves for the first time in 3 weeks, and it's the worst kept secret in the league how much he wants out of Minnesota. Butler reportedly went on a tirade calling out members of the Minnesota front office and teammates such as Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. There are also reports that Miami and Minnesota were working on a trade over the weekend, but the deal ultimately fell apart. And Brooke Murski joins us now with more basketball drama and a different kind of court. Brooke.
A former Adidas consultant will receive extensive questioning after admitting in the college basketball's federal corruption trial to secretly paying the Ayton family when DeAndre was playing in Arizona. The Ayton family is one of 5 involved in the trial. The NBA's top pick is still being haunted by his college past, while the former consultant is facing a jail time and $250,000 fine. Now back to the other court. LeBron and Lonzo teamed up for the first time together yesterday and put on a show. In the second quarter, LeBron threw an alley-oop to Lonzo for the slam. Lonzo made his first appearance since a summer knee injury, and LeBron put up 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists, but he didn't stop there, adding his first buzzer beater as a Laker from 35 feet at the end of the first half. Meanwhile, in the East, former Sooner star Trae Young drained many shots up close last night, but he saved the best for last. With the game tied at 27 in the fourth, Young hit a 3 from deep to win the game, 130-127. And Cal, what's happening on the court in Norman?
Well, Brooke, the Sooners check in at number 5 in the women's basketball preseason coaches poll. The good news is the Sooners have finished higher than their ranked 13 times under head coach Sherry Cole. The Sooners host Northeastern State on November 5th to tip off the season. And Week 6 of the NFL season kicks off tonight as the Giants host the Eagles in an NFC East showdown. The division is wide open as both squads are looking for their first win since Week 3. The Eagles are without Jay Ajayi for the rest of the season after a nail-biting loss to the Vikings on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Giants are coming off a heartbreaking loss to the Panthers on a last-second field goal. Kickoff is set for 7:20. And 4 weeks after Clemson true freshman quarterback Trevor Lawrence uprooted Kelly Bryant for the starting spot, Bryant left the program, taking his last year of eligibility with him. Bryant will reportedly visit North Carolina this weekend, a program that has struggled behind center since the loss of Mitch Trubisky. Obviously, if that works out, Kelly Bryant, 16-2 as a starter for the Clemson Tigers, took him to a Sugar Bowl in the playoff. Could be a match made in heaven for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, it definitely could. Although I hear that OU QB Kyler Murray will be gone after the season to play for the Oakland A's, so they might be in need of a quarterback.
Never know. Yeah, that's right.
Happen. Thank you, Cal.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cal.
And still to come on OU Nightly, we'll have another look at the 5-day forecast.
And when the weather tries to thwart your wedding plans, sometimes you just have to improvise. Straight ahead on OU Nightly.
I'm Kelsey Hovanetz at the OU Nightly Update Desk with the latest on the aftermath of Hurricane Michael. Horrific scenes giving us a glimpse of the damage in the Florida Panhandle. Take a look at this video. What you're seeing right now is Mexico City Beach, where Hurricane Michael made landfall yesterday as a Category 4 hurricane. Over 480,000 people are now without power, and the death toll has risen to 6. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Kelsey. Well, if you've ever had to change plans because of the weather, a newlywed couple from Jacksonville, Florida feels your pain.
That's right, Madeline. Yesterday, the couple had planned to get married at their county courthouse and then fly out for their honeymoon. But Hurricane Michael had other ideas, and the courthouse closed.
So after making a few calls, the couple was able to relocate the wedding to Jacksonville's International Airport, that's right, where they were briefly married in front of complete strangers before flying off to Italy for their honeymoon. Now, I hear the couple is planning on having a reception with family and friends after they get back from their honeymoon.
That's so awesome. And Jenna, you have a look at the 7-day forecast for us, right?
Yes. So we'll be breaking out these sweaters come Monday and Sunday as we go into next week. It'll be definitely really chilly, and we do have some rain chances still this weekend. So
thanks, Jenna.
Thanks.
Thank you for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by the Gaylord College of Journalism and Mass Communication on the campus of the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.